Hey guys, hopefully you're having a good day. This is Scott here, and we have a Parabellum guest on stream with us today. Say hi, Gianni.
Hey, hi everyone.
So we're here at the Las Vegas Open, and we're at the beginning of round one. Our players are just getting ready to start. They're getting their armies ready, taking a look at the scenario. We are going to be playing the scenario Forlorn Hope today. So if I can figure out where my scenario packet went, I will let you guys know what's going on in the scenario.
So until Scott finds his scenario pack, we guys have for you a great match. It is Wadrun against Duegom.
So,
Dino Army.
Forlorn Hope. In this scenario, we have 2 9-inch objective zones, 2 6-inch objective zones, and 2 destroyable objective markers in the center of the board. The players will score victory points at the end of every round, starting in round 2. They'll get 3 victory points for each objective marker that they have destroyed during the round. They will also gain 2 victory points for each objective zone they are seizing. And then if they are seizing 3 or more objective zones, they'll gain an additional 3 victory points. They'll also gain 2 victory points for every enemy character stand they destroy during the battle round. So it's going to be a pretty fun scenario. This scenario also has a restriction. No reinforcement lines can extend more than 12 inches onto the board. So it should be fun.
I think we'll see a very good game.
Yeah, I think
They're
so.
both good players, strong players. And, okay, I can hide it. I'm a dinosaur guy, so.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have Wadrun fighting against Duegom this game. Yeah, you guys are good to go.
Can you open it? Okay. Just.
So right now they're just rolling for their reinforcements for the first round. Looking over the piles of models on the sides of the table, it looks like at least the Wadrun player is packing a lot of heavier stuff, so he's probably not going to have much to bring on in the first round.
Oh yeah, the rest of the Wadrun I can see is a unit of hunters, which is one of my favorite. I love him. But other than that, he's punching a lot of strength. A lot of Thunder Riders, Tontor, Apex Predator.
While Apex? Oh, he does.
Oh yeah, he does.
It's hiding off in the in my blind spot.
All vivid colors, very nice. Still in the works, but look great. And on the other side, from the Duegom player, we have a nice punch of shooting, either with ballistas. We got some Inferno Automata and a Hellbringer Drake. And more to come.
If while you guys are watching the stream at all, there are any issues, maybe the screen is frozen or our audio gets sounding weird, just let us know. We'll do what we can to fix it. So it's looking like Mike is our Duegom player and Ryan is our Wadrun player, just so you guys know which names correspond with which players here.
And I can see he already has a high ground with some ballistas there.
Placed himself up on that hill. That's going to give him some good fire support for the center of the battlefield.
Exactly.
Looks like the Wadrun are going for a pretty similar tactic.
Yeah. He didn't field them across the ballistas. That's a good idea.
So they're already moving on to round 2. let's update our display here. These first couple rounds are going to go pretty fast. They usually do in Conquest. As people are just kind of deploying, getting onto the board. Looks like the Dwegome getting a bunch of their lights on the board.
Yeah, placing and where your regiments arrive in, it's a very important conquest. You want to place them right so you have the maximum impact on the table and maximize the casualties of your opponent.
So, Robert, to answer your question, the large blue rectangles are like glacier hills. We made them flat so that there wouldn't be a whole lot of wobbly model issues for our game. And then we have 3 sets of woods, and the 2 Dwegome pieces are actually prototypes of the official terrain that we'll be releasing later this year. We're excited to get to test that out.
Yeah, and that's just a taste. We got much more to come, many more.
You might recognize those terrain pieces. You've probably seen them in the background of some of the promotional artwork for Conquest. They use them in a lot of their army display photos.
So Ryan gets priority. Hey, Hunters go first. They chant death.
Looks like the hunters are going to wheel, and I'm assuming they're going to march forward a little bit here. Get themselves up on that objective marker. Now, hunters are lights.
Exactly.
So they're not going to be able to actually score that objective. So I'm assuming their goal here is just to get some board control on that side of the board so that their other stuff can move up and do the scoring for them.
Yeah. You know, they're light, but they are versatile. They pack a lot of damage in various ways. That's why I never leave house without a unit of hunters with me.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of the hunters plenty of times, and I can say that my army doesn't like them very much. Looks like we're going to have a unit of blooded marching onto the board. See where he puts these.
I always field at least 6 stands of blooded.
6 stands, huh?
Yeah, at least. I love them.
Well, we'll see what he ends up bringing here. I'm thinking it's looking like it might be a minimum size unit, but let's see.
Looks like.
So the question was asked, where can you get the awesome wheeling tool? Honestly, I'm going to have to ask where he got that, and I'll have to like just make a post about it on my Facebook or something. I personally have a similar wheeling tool that you can get as a 3D print file. It occasionally just gets shared around the Conquest Discords. But maybe what I'll do is I will compile a list of some of these cool accessories that help enhance your gameplay, and I'll make a video about it so people can know where to get some of these cool tools. I really love the wheeling widgets though. Basically you put them on the corner that's going to stay stationary, and then you move the units up to line up with the widget, and that represents an inch of wheeling.
A very useful tool.
Yeah, my personal set, I have it so that there's a widget for 3 stands wide, 4 stands wide, 2 stands wide, and monster bases. And they're very convenient.
And I can see some Inferno Automata are coming in.
Automata are always fun. I don't see them a whole lot in my local meta. My local Dwegome player tends to favor things like the Steel Forged a little bit more. So it's kind of fun to see these on the board. Are they medium now, or are they still light?
I think they're light, yeah.
Okay.
They're lights. Yeah, but they go fast.
We've got some really nice paintwork on these armies.
Yeah.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I really love the fire effects on those fire automata.
I like the way Ryan painted his Wadrun fleshy and not
Yeah.
kind of green or gray.
Yeah,
It's
they're
a
really
very
nice.
interesting take on the army, yeah.
Makes them a little more grounded and maybe not quite as high fantasy in their look.
Yeah, but you'll see guys his rhinos in a while, his thunder riders, sorry, excuse me. And they're all fancy colored and they're amazing. Maybe that's why he chose a more earthly color for his Wadrun infantry. There you go.
So I see
You
a
wanted
comment
more
that-
Dwagom.
I see a comment saying it's a little bit quiet. If you could let us know, is the whole stream overall quiet for you? Or is it a specific aspect of the stream that's coming through kind of quiet?
So, Hellbringer Drake is next.
See where he puts it. I enjoy fighting these things. They're quite a challenge. I know, at least when I play my old Dominion, I haven't figured out how to deal with the Drakes yet. They usually blow up my units before I get on or get into a good engagement range or a good threat range. So,
You know, I'm not a very good player myself, but when I was playing Dwagom, I never got it to work for me. I was the type of guy that shooting didn't work for me in the Dwagom. It was just brutal battle. But I love this model. It's amazing.
it's a really awesome model. It's one of the few Dwagom models I actually own. Because I'm not a Dwagom player myself, at least not very often.
Oh, the Sorcerer comes up.
I'm assuming this is the one on the Drake, so he's probably going to cast some fun spells here and maybe take out those hunters if he's in range. The next time our TO passes by, I'll ask how many total players we had. Last I heard, we had 18 that actually checked in. Let's see. Do a quick head count.
I think it's 18, yeah.
Yeah, currently there are 18 players. It is my understanding that this tournament is on Longshanks, so you can go on Longshanks and view it. I don't know if that link is being shared somewhere.
So, first cast of the battle. Let's see what the Sorcerer packs.
So I just spoke with our TO, and he says that the results at the end of the tournament will be on Longshanks, but it will not be updated live. They're kind of doing a little hybrid where they're running the tournament both in the Parabellum app and on Longshanks so that it gets properly reported. And since this is the first round of the tournament, this isn't necessarily the top table yet, just because it's random player pairings to begin the tournament off. As far as the audio goes, once my tech support guy circulates back around, I'll have him check and make sure all the audio levels are where they're supposed to be. I personally don't have the ability to hear how our stream sounds since we're in this loud convention center, but we'll make it work.
Oh, that was a much better roll here for the Sorcerer. And a Tray of Hunters is out.
Nice.
Yeah, first one didn't go that well, but second one made it up for it.
Ooh. That was a
3
painful
more.
resolve check.
That is, yeah, that was painful. That did some damage, and for now, Duagum dominate the table.
Yeah, they got more of their units on faster.
Yeah.
But I know that once the Wadroon get their heavy stuff on, they're going to punch back just as hard.
Oh yeah, I count on it. I mean,
one does not simply bring a Drum Beast and an Apex Predator and not totally decimate things.
I will see that we also have the Dice Gods. See what they decide.
That is true. And who knows if either of these players offered up sacrifices this morning to favor the dice.
Well, anything goes in Vegas, right? So players reshuffle. They bring out next wave of units. They decide what sequence their command stack is gonna be for the next round. Try
Sounds
to
like we
read
got
the
some
opponent.
Thunder Riders coming automatically this round.
Yeah. Oh my god, I was so happy putting these models together.
The Thunder Riders,
yeah, amazing.
they're a joy to work with.
And super easy. Super easy. So, Blooded failed to come in.
Same with
Also
the Apex
Apex,
Predator.
yeah.
Yep.
So let's see how Ryan and Mike do this round. I understand that Dragon bring a lot of people on the table this round.
I think we're going to see the table really start to take shape this round with all the stuff coming on the board.
Yeah.
So far, we've just kind of seen initial volleys on the battlefield and
we
nothing
have
too
7
serious.
units for the Wadroon coming in, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably should update our round counter here.
You know, it's one of the things I love in this game, when players try to read the opponent, find the best solution in the situation, and try to be tactical about which unit to bring first, second, third, etc. on the table.
So to answer your question, yes, those are Dwegom faction terrain pieces. These are the prototypes for the official terrain that'll be released later this year.
And this is but a sample, and some of the builds are modular, so players are going to have a lot of fun putting it together, painting it, and then, you know, changing every time they play.
Yeah, I know I'll probably glue them together in a specific formation, but I'm going to have like a million pieces of terrain floating around, so it'll be fun.
Do you have a space? Do you have enough space? Because I'm worried about you sometimes.
So, we could say I have a problem. My problem is that I'm a terrain junkie. If there's official terrain for a game, I probably own it.
So Mike explains now how with his draw event he has the overcharge on his Hellbringer Drake all the time.
Yeah, the overcharge ability on the Dwegom is a lot of fun.
No, it's not for the opponent.
Well, it's better than it used to be. Like, back when there wasn't a cap on how much AP you could stack up on the overcharge, it was really
the good old days.
Now, there is no cap on how many shots you can generate off of this, just on the armor piercing that you can get. Luckily for the Wadroon, there's only one of these on the board. If there were two, I've fought two in a lot of my games, and it's a pain.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They get overcharged. After a few rounds, they start releasing that volley, and they just decimate whatever they touch.
There is actually a Dragon player here, I hope we see, in this table, because he's really good. He packs a lot of shooting with his Dragon.
I know there's one player here. Don't know if he'll make it up into the top table, but my brother packed 4 Drakes in his list. 2 of the Hellbringer and 2 of the Ironclad. I'm looking forward to seeing those on the table and see how they do in the tournament. Looks like those hunters are pretty much gone from the board. They're gonna be gone after this is done, I think.
Yeah. Ooh, good roll. Very good roll by Mike. No AP though, but that was one more. So hunters are left down to 2 wounds.
Hunters, they chant death, and they
And a 3rd chant token of death is added on the Wadroon stock. He cashes it in, let's say.
Yeah, is this going on the unit of hunters that are almost dead? That's kind of an interesting choice.
We'll
See
see
how
yeah,
it
but I
plays
think
out.
it's the obvious one. He's pretty aggressive with just a tray of hunters.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, maybe aggressive will pay off.
Yeah, maybe he will wound that beast and
Maybe,
you know,
maybe.
open the way for the rest of the army to take it down.
So it looks like he's going to aim and then shoot with this activation here. Oops, I just totally bumped the camera.
It's okay, I bumped the lights before.
Well, the lights are one thing, but when you bump the camera, the entire stream moves. The ground
Oh,
shakes.
yeah. You're right. Right. Let's call it an earthquake on the battlefield. More or less average roll, very nice. And
Well, that's the end of the hunters.
I'm sad to see it. Yeah, sad to see them go that way.
Somebody had to die. Might as well be them.
Yeah. They didn't do much, but what can you do? Hellbringer punch a bunch. So, Sign of Conquest comes up for the Wadroon player, and he adds 2 Conquest chants on his stack.
Is the Scion
And
on the
that's-
board? Yeah, no, he's on the
No.
board, not on the board yet, so he doesn't do
Yeah.
anything.
That was gonna be my follow-up question.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't track him in that blooded unit, and I was like, what is going on?
The invisible Scion. He's sitting on the back of a drum beast, I'm assuming.
Yeah. He's like, go team!
I support you, but I'm not here yet.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Thoughts and prayers to the Wadroon, yeah. Oh, more Duegom come from the right flank of Mike. Let's see what he's planning. Yeah, the character needs to be at the front of the unit. So the Wadroon player opens with a drum beast. Chance Conquest. Let's see where it will arrive on the battlefield. I can see Ryan thinking about it, where it can do maximum damage and stop his opponent.
Ooh, is that a drum beast coming onto the board, or is that
Oh yeah.
where it's staying? Did it already move? Did I miss something?
No, no, he's thinking about it.
Oh, okay, so it hasn't placed itself yet. Looks like they're doing a bit of a rules check, make sure they're not cheating on us here.
Yeah. Drum Beast is a very nice unit. It gives a lot of bonuses, so you have to play smart. and get the maximum out of it. So that's where it goes. Against the Hillbringer Drake.
Drum beast on a hill, that's a scary thought.
Yeah. Like it was not tall enough. It needs the extra height.
If it couldn't see before, it can now.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you can hide a drum beast.
No,
Not
you
even in a
can't.
forest or anything.
Because drum beast is height 4, right? By itself. Which means that most terrain can't hide it, because there is not currently any height 4 terrain on the table.
There is some behind the scenes sign language you guys can't see. I don't know what
Yeah.
is going on.
Tyler, my tech support guy here, was just making sure he was okay to skedaddle off. He wants to go look at the vendor hall here at LVO.
Yeah. Suddenly I saw these hand movements and I was like, is there something wrong?
We're making it up as we go along. It didn't mean anything.
Oh no, just you're showing off. I see this Dwegom hiding in the forest there.
Those
They'll
are some
be-
scary Dwegom hiding in the forest. there.
Yeah, they'll be ready to spring into action when needed. And the first unit of Thunder Riders is coming on board. Ryan, you have 2 units, right? Yeah, that you filled 2 units, and the one with the Chieftain is coming on board. Plus 4 Thunder Riders. Oh my god, that is a punch.
Yeah, don't stand in the way of those things.
Oh no.
You will cease to exist.
You know, many people are scared of them, and they have every reason to do so. But sometimes you gotta sacrifice a unit or charge them first.
It's been my experience that Thunder Riders, if you allow them to charge, are really terrifying. But if you manage to sacrifice something to distract them and expose their flank, they actually do melt pretty fast when you hit them with a high damage unit.
Yeah, you're correct, yeah. You don't want to be on the receiving end of those horns, but if you play it right, you might get the effect that you want. The thing is, what do you do when your opponent fields 2 such units? How
Well,
do you flank both of them?
you hope and pray that there's something left on the board by the time they're done.
Yeah.
A unit of 4 plus a character is a pretty scary thought. I'm excited to see what
Yeah.
they do. Got some Dragon Slayers marching up on the
It
side
was-
here. All right, those are kind of fun. I really
Dragon
like the blue
Slayers.
color on them.
Oh yeah. He did a wonderful job with the painting, and if you see even his characters up close, they're amazing. He dedicated a lot of time into it. And I love the Dragon Slayers.
Curious to see what he does with them, because ideally they want to go target something like that Drum Beast. But he's got him pretty far off to the side, and there's a
Yeah.
impassable piece of terrain there blocking him, so I'm interested to see what he does with them.
So they chant famine.
Maybe he thinks for a counterattack.
Maybe. Maybe he's assuming that Tauntor is going to be really aggressive, get up into combat, and then he'll be able to hit it in the flank. Oh, here comes our other unit of Thunder Riders. Let's see where they go. The dynamic of this match is kind of shifting right now because the Wadroon are putting some pretty big threats on the board. And it's going to force our Dwegom player to allocate stuff really, really well. If he does any misplays with where he places stuff, he's going to be in trouble.
Is he bringing the second unit from the same side, from the same flank?
Looks like they're going to go down the middle.
Oh my god, he's trying to sweep the whole board. Let's see, there's a lot of pre-measuring. Surely there's a plan in his head. I think he's gonna use those 3 for a distraction while the others flank the whole army. And what comes up next for the Duegom? A unit of things.
Realized that we hadn't updated our scores yet. So let me get those just updated here.
So to counter the Thunder Riders, there are some nasty Duegoms across them, with 4 stands and a character. Banner, the whole works. Looks like he's waiting for the charge. I wonder if his strategy will work. And the chieftain casts Famine.
And blooded, they add a death.
So far, the
Blooded
Wadroon
chant
have
death.
Famine and death on their chant. Let's see what they do. Blooded are just going to shimmy up there to secure that objective.
That's that for the
zone.
Wadroon player.
It's kind of fun to watch here. They've just got like a toe on the objective, so they're just barely scoring.
There's a lot of thought. That's what I like about this. They take their time. You know, when you have so many beasts against you, you have to think it through and not make any big mistakes. So the little treat looks like it's gonna leave the forest.
Yep, looks like our Steel Forged are finally coming out of the woods. Once again, I'm interested to see how they play around this piece of terrain here.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just kind of in the way for what's going on around that part of the board.
I think he's gonna combine shooting and the Steel Forged just to take down the Drum Beast. So the Duegon player keeps playing till all of his units are on the table.
Yep, Wadroon have finished up their turn. They had a pretty short count of units on the board, whereas the Duegom have quite a bit left still to go. I see 2 or 3 more cards in their command stack. It's like the fire automata are moving up into the woods.
Even enemy ones march through. You can march through enemy ones as well.
There was
Okay, so apparently you can move through this regardless. So you're good to move through.
a little bit of a rules debate as to whether they could move through this objective marker.
I think they do.
We can always double check. We got the packet right here. As far as I have understood it, you can move through objective markers.
And our TO is on the scene to make our life easier.
So right now they're debating whether or not the objective marker is friendly, because if it's not friendly, he's going to charge it, and if it is friendly, he's going to march through it. Now, assuming that the copy of the rules packet that I have on hand is up to date, they're both enemies, but it would make sense for one to be friendly, so let's see what the TO rules.
Okay, so they
They-
can.
They are both enemy objectives, so they can be marched through. Glad we cleared that up.
And they can be attacked, right?
Yes, they can be marched through, they
Yes.
can be attacked. So,
3. Yeah. Let's see what will happen. The automata charged.
objective markers are kind of interesting for the game. I haven't decided if I like them or not. It's kind of fun to have to destroy them, but they can also demand that a unit be committed to destroying them for quite a bit of the battle. Because they can only take 1 damage per action. At least from anything that's not heavy. Heavy, brutes, cavalry, and monsters, I believe, can do 2 damage per action.
So we have some dice rolling for the objective.
So that objective marker has taken its first wound. So it'll take 2 more damage for him to take that down. In this scenario, the objective markers are well worth the effort. Coming in at 3 points apiece, it's definitely worth it to put the troops in to destroy it, because that can really decide the match.
Now we're gonna have some firing at the Thunder Riders. Oh, seems I was wrong.
Now here's where the Dwagon player really has to start
He's
playing
gonna
careful,
move and charge.
because he's in the threat range of those Thunder Riders in the next round.
And it's no small threat.
Like, if those Thunder Riders make a good charge there, they're gonna just decimate those ballistae.
Let's get some crossbows firing. So it's like 11 shots on 2s. 4 hits. 4 hits with an armor piercing 1. If I'm not mistaken, Thunder Riders have a defense of 3. So that drops them down on 2s. Ooh, that was okay. It was a good roll. He at least got 1.
That takes one of them down by half health, so that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Finally, the last unit
Time
of
for
the
the-
Dragon.
Fireforge to march on. They've been kind of hanging out in the corner of the board, but they're not actually there yet. Like,
Where do you think he's going to place them, Scott?
that is an excellent question. I'm not gonna like.
If he puts them on his right, they're going to block the field a little bit.
He's
If
got a
he-
hard choice. Like
Yeah.
on that right side of the board where all the Thunder Riders are, would be a okay place to put him, but he doesn't have a good shield wall to defend him, so they would just get charged and potentially die. I'd probably throw him closer to the middle, just because then they're flexible and they can support either. They can be adjusted to support either side of the
Yeah,
board.
that was my thought too. And from the pre-measuring, we can say
I
that we
think
are
that's
of the
what he's
same
thinking
mind.
too. Yeah.
Because the Apex Predator is not on yet, so
No,
you got to
that's
keep an
true.
eye out.
I'd completely forgotten about that guy.
I mean, the king is not here yet in the building. He will be though,
I don't know.
and
I
he will
think
be pissed.
the role of the king of the Wadroon in this game might go to the Drum Beast. Personally, I think he's a little
Really?
bit better, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I know that at least my wife, who mains Wadroon, she's come to favor the Drum Beast and the Tauntaur over the Apex in pretty much every single one of her lists.
Okay, that's an interesting take. I play my Apex more aggressively, and I always fill him because I love him.
My experience has been that the Apex is a really great threat if you get the charge off first. But if it gets charged by just about anything, it
Mhm.
melts before it can get a chance to do its work.
Oh yeah, there's also this possibility. You're right. So I think this is going to be a very critical round.
Just our scores here. We're moving up to 4 points
I can see that the
against 2 points.
Dragon player has a bunch of stack of cards to decide. I think it's a really tough job for Mike. All these units go through your head while you play for a second. And with a menacing opponent.
Definitely got his work cut out for him. But he does have a points lead as well. At least for now. Unfortunately, the guys he has on that objective on the right side, which I guess on the stream is actually the left side, they're actually lights. So unfortunately, they're not helping him score points at the moment. It's all a matter of perspective. The camera is viewing the battlefield from the perspective of Ryan, whereas we're standing on the opposite side of the table. So for us, it would seem like it's the right flank, but it's
I'll
actually
move to
the left.
Ryan's side then, because I use left or right a lot, and I just realized I'm wrong, and people will go like, "What is he saying?"
Yeah, they probably just assume you don't speak English.
Okay, so we open that round with a whole ballista. They fire again at the Thunder Riders. The 3-unit Thunder Riders. They took aim, if I am not mistaken, and it's
believe
on
you're right.
threes. He tries to do as much damage as he can, and it's a good roll.
Yeah, it's an okay one.
Yeah. 6 and -1s. Really good. And it's a very good save, actually, for the Wadroon player. 3 ones. That was very lucky. Mike passes his turn to Ryan. And Ryan activates the Drum Beast. He chants again. And he has +3 March. I think that's going to be a hell of a charge.
Drum Beast. Here we go.
That's a big moment, yeah, right there.
Oh! And the Drum Beast is down.
I feel whenever this happens, I feel like a bus flipping over.
Luckily, that model is pretty durable,
Oh, yeah.
and that's why I magnetize all of my stands all the time.
Is he going to do it? What do you think?
I'm thinking he's about to attempt to charge, but we're going to see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's only a 2, and he does not have Unstoppable, so he's unfortunately just going to have to move
Whoa.
forward 2 inches, and that's the end of that.
Well, that was unfortunate. It was a 50% chance, though.
Yeah, it was a bit of a risky charge, but that's how it's played out, so.
I think he was kind of forced with all the shooting across him.
Yeah.
I think in other circumstances he would have waited a little bit longer.
Yeah, you really can't bide your time when you've got a Hellbringer Drake facing you down. You have to be aggressive or you're going to die.
But don't get me wrong, it is a durable unit, so I think it will last.
Would have made the game really exciting if he had made that charge, because then it would have been,
Yeah.
Dwego might have almost been in panic mode. Although they do have the Steel Forge, so like they're durable enough, maybe they would have survived it okay.
Well, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with the Steel Forge.
I'm assuming they're going to charge up because
I'm
no
assuming
matter what,
too,
that
but
Hellbringer Drake can see over him, so he's probably going to charge them in and then provide some fire support with the Drake. So he's just used his Scion to double chant Conquest. And he's about to cast Crescendo, which is a fun spell. It's going to allow him to activate his next unit, right?
Yeah.
And then trigger the chant on that unit.
That regiment activates immediately.
1, 2, 3, 4, go.
4 successes.
Okay, Crescendo is successful.
Yeah, really good roll.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, Thunder Riders are getting the chant off.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think of it, but it was pretty obvious. I'm not a
Did
very
he put it
good
on
Wadroon
the
player.
purple Thunder Riders or the blue Thunder Riders?
I think the purple one.
Okay, yep, that's
I mean,
what it looks like.
they took some damage. He's got to activate them.
Now let's see if he decides to go for a risky charge or if he decides to do a move charge.
He's kind of with a back to the wall right now. So I think a risky charge might do it. He can charge for sure.
Oh, he decided to go with the march first.
Yeah. Impact hits and trample might do the trick.
They might. They'll at least tie it up so they can't shoot back.
Yeah, exactly.
This is pretty much a guaranteed charge.
Oh,
He
that's
really
a
only
4.
needed 1 inch on the charge.
Yeah,
so
yeah. We have contact.
Okay, here come those impacts. Let's see what happens.
I'd be really terrified if that beast attacked me.
Especially if you're a little dwarf taking on a dinosaur.
yeah.
Not so great though.
That was a not so great roll. That is true.
Yeah, it's only 3 through on the impacts. It's always sad to see. Hey, they all
Yeah,
went
but
through though.
100%
And with that
chance.
resolve, maybe they'll do some more. Two more on the resolve. That's
More on the resolve. I think that's a standout.
taking out a stand. Here come the trample hits. Looks like 2 more of those went through.
And he wasn't even that lucky. He had an average roll and he did some damage. So they endured the charge, but
They're tied up now, so they're
Yeah.
going to have to revert to melee, which isn't their favorite thing to do.
yeah, to be fair though, they moved and then they charged, so
It could have
nobody
been a lot
witnessed
worse
the
for
full
them.
blow of the impact, but it was a pretty good charge though.
Can already see that our Dwegum have fallen in love with that little wheeling widget.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Very useful.
When you combine the movement widget with the with some bases under your trays to hold all your trays together as one, it becomes really nice. Speeds up movement a lot.
Yeah. And the fact that we made it so easy to magnetize, it's useful to a lot of players. Wadroon player chance Conquest. And the Apex Predator is coming on the board. Center of the battlefield. I wonder if the Drum Beast will last. Seems like he's got all of his good stuff on one side of the battlefield. And only the Blooded to support the Drum Beast. A very menacing and screaming Apex Predator. Now the Dragon Slayer's turn. They move up. The wheel. Now they march again, I think. Yep. That's what happens. They march again. Thunder Riders again. They chant famine. Did somebody order a big unit of Thunder Riders? There is some math and calculation in Ryan's head. He's a little bit tense. He chants the Conquest. So he gets +3 on the first movement because of the chant. He moves them up, and I think we're gonna see a very bloody charge. And he's charging. Let's roll. Average roll of 3. I think he's got it. Does he got it? Yeah, he does. Oh my god, that's gonna be painful. $15 dice.
It's a pretty good wave of shooting coming in. Or
15 dice on
charging.
3s. That was a very good roll.
I agree. Really great. Ouch.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
I-
11 with line breaker. So no shields. fast, and we'll just improve with that time.
That is 9 bad defense rolls for Mike. Well, to be fair, he didn't have any advantage from his shields. And now he's got the resolve test. So let's see if they are afraid. Force. That's another 6 missed resolve tests. Oh my god. I can't watch that.
Yeah, those poor guys are about to melt completely.
Freeze, 2 more. Yeah, line breaker and Alright, and then they can't switch, so it's careful. So it's gonna be 6 rounds. 6 more
I
saves.
think it's going to be a very tough game.
Yeah, I think this. I mean, it's too early to tell who this is going to go in favor of. But
I know, but that impact
those
was
Thunder
very
Riders
bad.
over there on the side are a really big problem.
Does the Dragon player has any more units in reserves?
I think he's fully on the board now.
He's gonna
I think
need them.
I think the Fireforged were the last unit to get on.
Ooh. Well, he only has to stall them a little bit. Fireforge are a pretty good unit. He can fire at them.
Looks like he barely survived. He is going to be broken there over on that side, though.
Yeah, you're correct.
And I can tell that Mike is very concerned right now. He's sitting there pondering what to do next.
I would be if I was in his place.
It can be kind of hard when you've got big threats and they go through and pull off a good charge like that and just decimate a unit. Really forces you to have to pivot your plans.
There's some thinking to be done.
Yeah, I think more than just the unit broke on that charge.
Ooh, that was a tough comment. I've been on the bad receiving end, on the wrong end of a Thunder Rider charge. I didn't like it.
Oh, I fight Thunder Riders all the time, so I know exactly what this feels like.
Some pre-measuring and some thinking. So he's thinking about reforming the unit.
It makes sense. He's got a kind of some tight maneuvering he's got to do. He wants to get that unit up on the objective to help him score.
I see what you mean, but doesn't that mean his flank is open to the Thunder Riders?
Yes, but sometimes you just have to take the points, try to get a points lead before your stuff gets wiped out.
You're right, you're right.
Yeah. He knows that his stuff's going to be dying. He just wants to score points before it happens.
I don't know how useful the Blooded are there. I know they might be just to score the objective and that's it.
I think once they move up, they're just going to score the objective. They were on it before. I think the objective has been bumped.
Oh, he brings inside another unit.
Oh, I didn't even
Blooded on
realize
the
there was
table. I
more
didn't
Wadroon
realize
coming
that.
onto the table.
Yeah, I thought all the Wadroon were here.
Well, apparently not.
Oh. That's a tough one.
Jordan, to answer your question, I believe with the apex on the board, that is everything. All the heavy stuff is on the table, so what you see is what there is.
So the Duagon player activates his character, which is the hold right.
Yeah, I think the Dwagom right now, they're really going to have to just try to win the opposite side of the board.
I think we'll have
the
a
side
challenge.
with the Thunder Riders is a lost cause.
That was a good roll. That's 3 wounds on the Chieftain. That was a good idea.
Doing a little bit of damage to the Thunder
Yeah.
Riders.
To the Chieftain specifically, you know, he gives
Oh, he did a
lot
duel.
of stuff. Yeah,
I
it was
see.
a duel.
The other letter. Let's see, they chant death.
Looks like he's got a death stack for his chant getting set up. He's just going to move those blooded over there back onto the objective. They were on it before, but I think the objective got bumped. So now they're on it again.
Just one guy stepping on the objective. Hey guys, I got it.
Don't
We're
worry,
okay.
I got you covered.
Okay, well, the hold right with the things did some damage. Hold warriors, sorry. They did some damage. Not much to the Thunder Riders, but
Well, there's only one stand left. It's a lost cause over there.
well, you can always hope. You can always play first on the next round and activate them first
That's true.
to give a final
Might
punch.
take out the Thunder Chieftain at least. But I think there's other things that might be more important than that.
Yeah.
Let's ball.
Oh, they're going to duel again over there between the
Ooh.
Thunder Chieftain and that hold ray.
Let's see another duel.
Two.
2. That was poor.
Oh,
was
well,
poor
nothing
too.
from the Dwagom. Oof.
Judge.
Oh my god.
Oh, is he swing back? If he dies? Huh? He's not gonna die.
That was unfortunate.
We had a small rules misunderstanding. The question was whether or not the hold ray that just died was going to get to swing back. And the answer to that is that in a duel, both fights happen simultaneously, unless a character has a special rule that dictates
Another
otherwise.
hit. Morals question. I understand
Unfortunately, the
it's
loss of that
difficult.
character also shatters that regiment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Didn't
so
think of that.
they're out there,
Oh my
which
god.
means those
that was
Thunder
bad.
Riders are going to charge next round.
Yeah. Ooh.
And yeah,
And they're
Thunder
gonna
Riders
flank those poor
are
guys
carrying
there.
right now.
Ooh.
Have to be careful with our commentary so that the players don't hear and, you know, change their tactics based off our comments.
I think they're too deep into it. And I don't think I can comment something they don't know. If anything, they will teach me how to play. Well, I gotta say the Dragon player is really skilled, but the dice is not in his favor.
Yeah, the Thunder Riders getting that charge off is put him in a rough spot. At least the
I think now he's
that
firing.
not Tauntaur, Drum Beast failed his charge earlier. Otherwise, there'd have been even more casualties.
And he's firing now at the Drum Beast. Sorry.
So he got 6 shots through on the
Okay.
Drum Beast. Let's see how the saves go.
I passed 2, so I took 4. He's 22.
Well, 4 out of the 22 damage. It's a start.
Yep.
Or, yeah.
Blast him is all you can do. And another 3, another 2 wounds on the Tauntaur. Drum Beast. Sorry about that.
Jonathan, in response to your question, I honestly didn't notice if they checked the resolve on that duel. I know that at least on the Dwagom end they didn't need to because he failed his saves, but that might have made a difference on the end of the Chieftain.
Five hits. Wow. Ooh. He takes another 4. That was not a good roll. I think it's AP1. I might be wrong. They're looking into it. So he did some damage on the Drum Beast this round.
A little bit. Not a ton, though.
I mean, it's halfway there.
3 at -2.
-2, so on my evasion. 2s.
That was really bad.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Only 6 wounds left for the Drum Beast.
Oh, really?
That is impressive.
Well, when you said he did a bit of damage, I thought you just meant a little bit.
Oh no,
No,
it was
that's-
halfway there. Now it's just left with 6.
Well, that's good because he needs to clear that side of the board so that he can keep his points lead. Oh,
Now the
he is
Steel Forge are
charging.
charging. And they
That's
make
a good
it.
charge roll. Like that.
Successful charge. I think the game turned a little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
So this charge is a little bit wonky.
You're good. Let's see, he's going for the big score now. A 1/3 kill on the Drum Beast. Do Steel Forge have impact hit, Scott?
Steelforge, I believe they do.
Okay, that will be interesting. That'll be very interesting.
I'm assuming that's what he's about to roll now.
Alright, so I need so if I have Clash 3, and then I charge, what am I? This is the confusing part. So Clash 3, and then up to Clash 5, Clash power,
And it's on 5. Scott, you said 5?
Yeah,
They
so
are that good?
because of Flux, well, he's doing his Clash right now. I didn't see if he did his impacts or not, but
I did not.
he'll resolve the impacts if he needs to after this Clash is done. We'll have him do it out of order.
Wow, that was a very good roll.
So
12 hits.
what just happened? He used Flux Power to get his Clash up to 5, and then he inspired. So the way it works is he can get the Clash to 5 with the Flux Powered, but if he inspires, he does not go to 6. It'll instead stay at the 5, and he'll get the rerolls. Because you can get a Clash characteristic up to 5 as long as it's through a means other
Yep, you're right.
than
And
the
there
Inspire.
is a big gap right now in the middle of the battlefield.
Yeah, he didn't even need those impact attacks. He did the damage
that
all
was very
straight
impressive
through.
from the Dragon player. Very impressive.
Well, that's what they do.
I'm excited. I think we're really back into the game now.
Can I charge through the
You can charge through.
I know I can charge through my stuff.
And here we see trying to figure out a charge, if it can happen.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I need to roll, man. I'm 7 away and then you're 7. Is it possible to have a line with us across the
Scott helps him out.
I did not know that. You can't cross it to charge. Correct. You can come within an inch, but you can't touch them. All their inch. Got it. Okay. I don't think so.
We see Mike thinking about it. Activating his automata and then charging. But he's in a tough position right now.
There was a bit of a rules debate that I had to help with here. They were trying to figure out if the automata could make a charge against the Thunder Riders. Unfortunately, because he has his regiment extending out that far, he won't be able to, because you can't move through your own units when they're engaged.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right, Scott.
So he's going to have to move up with the automata, and he's going to have to get creative with his maneuvering. He might be a smart move to go after the Apex and slow down the Apex while he deals with the other stuff.
Exactly. I think that's what he's doing in the end. And he's placing them carefully into the forest so he doesn't get any impact hits.
Yeah, if the Apex charges him, there won't be any impacts because of the woods. But the same goes for him, which I don't recall off the top of my head what automata have for their stats, but
Oh, they don't, but
I don't believe they do impact.
they don't, yeah. But I believe he's gonna soften him up a little bit with firing. That is everything. Players score. And we'll move off to the next round.
So basically, a lot of points were... Okay. A lot of points were being scored here. We were just clarifying that we knew what was going on. Basically, they both scored 9 points, I believe is what they said. That was a lot. So now we have the command phase. This is a very thoughtful looks on the faces of both our players here. This is probably one of the most important rounds of the game for them, because they're positioned so that both of them have scoring, and whoever's scoring crumbles first is probably going to pull ahead starting this round.
So both players now realize they try to figure out what tactic will bring them victory. I see the Duagon player has realized that only a deeper tactic ability will get him victory against the raw might and the bestiality of the Wadroon. Do you feel the tense, Scott?
Oh, it's tense. I can tell they're both really trying hard here. And you know, no pressure. They're on stream, so everybody's watching.
Yeah, everybody's watching, guys. No worries.
And I see there's been a bit of a rules debate in the chat, and it's fine to debate rules. You know, I like that. I will say that if there was a mistake made over there, it's happened. It's in the past now. Those do happen in tournaments like this. I make mistakes all the time too. And I do believe that if there was a mistake, it delayed maybe the Wadroon for one more round over there. But
oh yeah,
in
I
the
think
end,
that's what he's shooting for.
I think the Wadroon would have broken that flank anyway. Okay, here comes our roll-off. A 2 versus... Okay.
5.
Well, Dwegum are going first. Let's see what Mike's going to do here. Infernal Automata are first. He is going to be charging at that apex.
I think Mike went for the safe choice. Whether he played first or second, he was willing to sacrifice something if he played second.
That's a good question. I've just... Now, Gianni, I got a question for you.
Should.
Those Automata, they were engaged with that objective marker.
Yes.
They wouldn't have been able to move there, would they have been able to? Because they would have had to do a withdraw, which would have made them go the other way.
I think you're right. Very
well,
good.
we're going to undo that.
You noticed that, yeah, but it totally slipped me. You're correct, yeah.
That does mess up everything.
Well, in order not to take back a lot of moves or anything, let's see what the judge will say. That changes the whole strategy of the game.
Would it be agreeable to let him resolve the clash that he would have made last round against that?
If Ryan says so, yeah. Ryan, are you agreeing to resolve the clash of last round? Thank you. Yeah, in this round it can drop black to 0.
So they're just going to make the assumption that he would have successfully clashed against that.
So
assuming he sticks with the current play, because that's what he had in his command stack, he could finish that off now and then do a march afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the best play, I think. And then march.
Okay, so here's where he's going to finish off that objective marker, which is still a good move.
Yeah,
the
it's a
points
good
are
move,
worth it.
and it's a very good example of very good sportsmanship. Thank you, Ryan. That's the most important thing. no matter how big a tournament you're in, sportsmanship comes first.
Yep, as Daryl was saying in the last happy hour, Conquest is fun.
Yes,
And that
even
should
when
be
we're
the
competitive, we don't stop to be good players.
Yep,
And
fun
have
should
fun.
always come first.
Thank you, Daryl. If you're listening, thank you. He can move now, yeah.
No, this comes out.
Yeah,
Yes.
this comes off, yeah.
Is that points?
Yeah, I believe it's
For 3 points.
3? Okay.
So now that the objective is out, Mike moves his automata to the front. A little bit changed his strategy, but turns out good
Get
for
those
now.
points for that objective marker. We're just going to count up those points now on the score so that we don't forget about them.
You're right.
That's fine. Apex Predator, actually.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. First unit for the Wadroon is the Apex Predator.
Right? So, we're going to change that.
It makes sense to me with the... They made the command stack with the understanding that there was a unit there that was going to charge the Apex, so it makes sense to me.
I would actually bet he went first with the Thunder Riders. Yeah, it's a 4. It's a successful charge. And he's going to chomp, chomp, chomp some of those automata.
Hey, at least he's got the woods there protecting him from the impact, so
Yeah.
it's a little less damage that he's going to
I know they're not tasty because they're full of metal.
Well, they're on fire. They're spicy.
Yeah, but yeah, they're spicy.
They're a brute, right? Are they considered brute? Okay, perfect. Alright, so, alright. So, Apex Predator is class base 4 plus 2 for shot. So it's 4 for going 6s, okay, right? And I can go something real 5s. Because they're brute, so I can do all this good. So I got 1 attacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This is going to be a brutal attack from the Apex.
It is 2.
Which I roll 1. You said it was, how many was that total? 11?
Yeah, so that's 10.
Wow, this is 10 wounds
Terrifying too.
Oh,
on the Inferno
that is
Automata.
painful. So that was just the damage natural. So now he's got to do the
What?
resolve damage.
He had 11 successful attacks.
So he got the Apex so that it was up to Clash 4, and then he inspired, so he was 4 rerolling 5s.
Oh.
So that was a really good...
that was mean.
That was the Clash. Yeah, that wasn't the Impacts, that was the Clash.
Well, this game is surely a roller coaster of feelings.
No, that's
I'll measure it in a minute.
So the Dragon player is gonna charge the Thunder Riders.
Yep, that's a smart move. It's a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit of a
very smart
wonky
move.
charge, but if both players agree that it's possible, then we'll see how they do it.
I think his roll was enough. Yeah.
Now, technically, would he have been able to actually do that charge with where he was positioned? Because he had to, as part of the charge move, march through his own regiment. I think it was an iffy charge, but I think I'll let it slide because I don't know that it's going to make a ton of difference.
Oh yeah. After all, it's a game.
Yeah.
Two lost. Okay. I know Mike doesn't get too many attacks in, but the Wadroon player helps him a lot with losing all of his defense rolls. Oh, that was
That's
really
4
good.
more going through, so not bad.
That was good, yeah.
We're
Let's see
retroactively
some-
resolving the resolve checks from the previous saves he rolled, and then he'll roll the defense after that. So here come the 4 attacks. No cleave on these.
Two more resolve tests, 1 success, 3 more wounds in total. I think that's a rider out.
Yep, that's
Yep,
the
that
first one
is.
down over there.
1 to go, 3 more. And the chieftain, 3 more and the chieftain.
Dude, did I just see some
Oh.
healing go off?
Oh yeah.
Lovely. I don't know.
I was like, come
how
on,
did-
man, don't
where
do
did
that.
They, where do they get their healing from?
From the rider.
What do you mean
Uh,
the rider? Oh, the queen.
It's a queen,
The
yeah,
queen
it's
does
a queen.
healing. Yeah. Okay. That's right.
Yes, it's all gray and unpainted for now, but she's a
She
queen.
was hiding there on top of that
Yeah.
apex, and I didn't
Can you
compute in
hide?
my brain. Well,
On top of an apex predator?
apparently because I didn't notice her there. So, yeah.
Or you're too scared that you didn't notice?
Maybe I'm just blind. Oh,
What happened?
we did have a misplay with the apex.
What?
It wouldn't have been inspired because of the woods. So it would have just been 4s not rerolling 6s.
I don't think it
I
will
don't-
have
I don't
any
know.
difference with the roll that we saw, but very good point.
Yep, it was a good catch.
That's a flank charge.
Yes.
Let's see what happens.
So here come the impacts first.
3 on 3 is good.
Ooh,
That's the
the
opposite.
Wadroon are not rolling hot right now.
Re-resolve. I passed 2. I failed 1. I have to re-roll this because I'm quick. Alright, so I think
Okay. They're tough cookies to break.
Are they cookies? Is that what they are?
Oh, they're brown, aren't they?
Well, not all
They're
cookies
flesh.
are brown. You can put food coloring in them.
Food coloring. Oh my god, no. I think when he finishes painting them, they're gonna look amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. These Wadroon are pretty cool. Pretty cool paint scheme going on with the ones that are finished.
Okay, that's all.
Wow, 100% success rate
That's 4, 8, 13.
on those steel forts. 13 hits. I don't think they will survive this. I'll be honest. No. And Ryan is rolling it. Resolve test. Ah. That was a really good charge for the Dragon player. He dominates that flank now. So Thunder Riders come up next. They add Famine. Well, 12 success hits for the Thunder Riders. That was very good. The Duagum suffer some losses. 2 stands are out. And let's see those result tests. So 3 stands in total.
That poor unit, they're shattered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shattered.
So that was inspired class, so that's
So there's gonna be some firing on those Thunder Riders.
Maybe. I think he's
But-
still debating what he's going to do.
Yeah, having a queen killing them all the time once per round, that is nasty.
Yeah, he's got quite the threat going on over there. So he did decide to go with the volley. He got
That was
7
quite a
hits
roll.
through there. That's pretty okay. It's about average, maybe slightly above.
on one. That's 2, so I took
It's on ones though, and 5 wounds means the one that got up is down again.
Luckily, he managed to wound a second one, which means that there's a higher chance that that one actually stays dead.
Yeah. Now the second unit of Thunder Riders is being activated. Let's see how those Thunder Riders roll. Wow. That was a very good roll.
Is this the Thunder Riders that are swinging right now?
Yeah. The second big unit with the Chieftain. He's really lucky with those guys.
13 hits through.
Yeah.
That's going to be painful. So he loses a stand and one is wounded. Now
Yeah,
he's
they're-
going to roll
they're
the
pretty
resolve.
tough.
Ouch. It's another 7 from resolve. That shatters that unit. Well, it doesn't shatter it. It kills him outright off of the damage.
Wow. He's in a tough spot right now.
And then they move. Oh, that wasn't even an inspired
Yeah.
clash. That was just a.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's why it was on 3s.
Wow.
When you get 13 hits out of 15 on 3s.
So, like, the game's had some pretty aggressive trading. Like, the Dwegom have a big, ugly threat to deal with, but they've also pushed through on the other side.
I don't know if this is gonna be enough.
We're going to find out, aren't we? So there was a slight correction that was made here just now that we were told about. The Thunder Riders did trigger a required chant, so their chant ended up going to waste in this situation.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful how you handle your chance. I know because I don't.
Chanting is a fun mechanic. It's not the most complicated thing in the world, but mastering it so that you always pull it off, you know, with the right timing can be a bit of a learning curve.
That was a good roll from the Duagon player. Eight on ones. 7 hits. That was some good damage on the Apex Predator. I think it's another 7 to go. Chieftain casts Famine, and then it's back to the Duagon. And now there's some pre-measuring with a Ironclad Drake. Hellbringer Drake, sorry. I apologize.
Unfortunately, I don't have printed copies of their list that I can reference here, so I don't actually know which one is the Warlord for the Dwagom, but we'll ask here in just a minute when they're done with what they're doing. Looks like there's a spell coming at the Apex here.
5, that's a good roll.
That's a pretty good spell cast roll, or was
That's 5 hits, right?
depending on which spell he casts. Yes.
2.
Okay. And since this is a spell, they will trigger resolve.
Okay, that was a lucky roll. That was good.
Apex is down to 5 wounds remaining.
Now we need some.
Okay, I think that's the answer to our question here. He has been tracking his tokens with that little purple die, and he's debating spending them to see if he can modify this spell at all with his tempered token
If
things.
I could, I would. That's the time. That's the right time to do it.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, depending on what it modifies, it might make a difference here. I confess I don't play Dwagom enough to know their rules off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure the Warlord is the sorcerer on the Drake in this game. So he did decide to modify the spell there, and it ended up almost doing the trick. The Apex does have 1 wound left now.
Wow, I was gone for a second, and the Apex has left 1 wound.
Well, that's what you get for walking away.
Wow, that was some good playing. Let's see what the Blooded will do.
What Blooded? Oh, hey, there's Blooded over there.
The second unit on the corner.
I forgot about them.
I think the Dwagom did too. Forget about them. So he's going to try to surprise the Dragon Slayers, but they were not activated yet, and he read that move. So I think they're going to face the threat.
He's going to have to, if he wants to deal with them, he's going to have to do some sort of reform or a sideways march or something, because he's in a spot where
Doesn't
he's
help
not facing him at all.
And it seems to me he chooses not to face them. but
Well,
walk
I mean,
and secure the objective.
if he can get enough distance between him and them, they might not get to him in time to do anything terribly important right now. And I think he needs those Dragon Slayers to help with the Thunder Riders.
Oh, you're right. And also another unit on the objective always helps. And I think that's the end of this round. Both players have played all of the units.
I got 7.
You got +7, and I'm at 15. You're at 15. Yeah, I'm at 15. Overall, man. So you got your objective there. You got any objective at 7? Okay, so he's up again.
It's
Okay, we're updating our scores a little bit here.
You'd be at 20. You'd be at 15.
so the Duagon
basically-
player is ahead in score.
Yes, Dwagon players stayed ahead in score the entire game.
He made some good decisions there. That's where a good strategy can always win you the day and outsmart your opponent.
This will be round 6.
So we're heading for round
Honestly,
6.
this has been a high-scoring match. I don't
yeah.
normally see this many points in round 6 when I play, but I also play Old Dominion for my main army, so
Yeah, they're
I'm just used to being slow.
seems like the Duagon player made up his mind. I trust him, and we've seen some really good play from him. Let's see now what Ryan decides and how he's going to shuffle his deck.
It's interesting looking at the table condition right now. There's been a lot of casualties on both sides. They're in round 6, and they are about an hour and 45 minutes into the match. I think this particular match will end well before the time is up, but I guess we'll see.
So there's a reroll.
So they made them.
2 and a 5.
Yeah, on that first roll, they
Oh
made
my
it
God.
so tied with the modifier, and then they re-rolled.
I
I think it
paid
paid
for the
off.
whole seat, but I'm only using the edge, Scott.
You have a seat?
I do.
You lucky person.
Setting up yesterday has its toll. So the gun player starts again, and I think he's gonna have some serious firepower with the Fireforged.
So that's 7 at minus, I'm going to say 2.
7 hits.
7 hits, and they're just quickly checking to make sure they do the right amount of AP before
I
they roll
believe it's
defense.
2,
I think it's
if
2.
memory serves.
'Cause I'm-
On ones.
Now, did he
Yay.
spend overcharge tokens on this shot? Or,
I think he did, yeah.
I believe, yeah. To say that was a lot of shots. I'm assuming he did.
But the Apex is past now. And a big problem just vanished.
So see, now the Wadroon have a hard choice. They've got the stuff to be able to keep scoring objectives, but they can't do that and continue to push the advance. So he's going to have to decide, score or go for the tabling. Now, since there was a character kill there, we're going to give him his points right now for killing a character stand.
I think there's going to be some more charging.
Looks like he's going for pushing the attack rather than holding objectives.
Yeah.
Just probably and maybe a good play. We'll see.
When your opponent asks you what's your defense and your wounds, well, you got to get worried.
So, I mean, we're only about halfway through the match in terms of round count, so if he can play right with his Thunder Riders, maybe he might try to go for tabling his opponent.
Let's go.
And maybe the Thunder Riders have the damage output for that.
They
maybe
charge.
not.
They need a 4.
I need a 4.
And it's a 6.
That is a beautiful charge. A lot
You
of
can hear
celebrating
the
on
war
part of our
cries of the
Wadroon
Wadroon player. I mean, what did you expect? Wow, let's see how this plays out. Wow. So the TO just let us know there were 20 minutes left.
Are we doing hour or 2.5 hour rounds or 2 hour 15-minute rounds? Only 2 hour? Okay, apparently these are only 2 hour matches, which might mean we have to adjust the schedule for when our next stream starts. We'll update you guys as that changes. It looks like the Dwegom have opted for a reform. And then they're going to probably shoot that, I'm assuming.
He has 1 overcharge. I'm going to spend it. Basically, 4 shots. And then we go down to 2. Wait, can I use these on top? No, you can't. Never mind.
So on 2s. Whoa, that was a bad roll. Firing on the Thunder Riders. One more? Yeah. One left.
Thunder Riders.
Now
See,
the
that
big
is
unit of the
debatable.
Thunder Riders is activated.
2 hours is not standard in any tournaments I run. I always do 2.5. And I have never found that I finish a game in less than about 2 hours, 15 minutes personally. This is the first tournament I've attended where it's 2 hours. LVO last year was 2.5, so that's where my confusion comes from.
That's them.
So I'm glad to see you guys are enjoying watching the game. We are doing live streams on the Miniature Manager channel on a regular basis now. It's a new thing we just started like a week ago. We haven't decided how frequently those are going to be. Right now I'm leaning towards every other week, but we'll see.
Resolves. One is out. So first unit of Thunder Riders is exterminated. I can see the Wajun player having his hands full now. But Ryan still marches on. Some repositioning of the Steel Forged. And now the second unit of the Thunder Riders comes in. It's activated. Oh, that was a Chieftain only, my bad. Dragon Slayers are moving up deeper into the battlefield. And I think this is the end of turn. This is a score of 7 for the Dragon player, +7 for the +2 score of the Wajrun player.
Okay. Sorry, I disappeared there for a minute. I was dealing with some questions with the TO about scheduling.
Players.
So we're not going to be adjusting the time of our streams. They will be adjusting the tournament, as silly as that might sound.
Okay. How many do you have? 2? 3.
So, Wajrun player goes first for a change.
Oh, that's a nice change.
I think that played a minor role, but a very important one in the game.
It certainly helped the Dwagom in quite a few situations to be able to go first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have been getting charged and losing some units much earlier than they did.
Yeah, you're right. So the Blooded are at the rear of the Dragon Slayers. No charge yet, maybe next round. But they're a threat for now. They're caught between a hammer and the anvil.
I love how those blooded are like chasing up behind, like trying to catch up with
Yeah.
the Duego.
Come here, you.
Get over here.
And the Hellbringer Drake reforms again and fires.
Did we go to a new round?
Yeah.
Did we update it? Well, let's get that updated real quick.
That's 7 plus 2.
So it looks like Mike added another 7 to his score that round. Was that counting
So one stand is
the
out.
character stand kill?
From the Blooded, Ryan checks the resolve. The wounds,
Yeah.
sorry.
And then there we go. That's our updated scores.
And another 4 left on that stand.
Thunder Chieftain, FM, and
Thunder Chieftain casts Famine, chants Famine.
This will be the no AP one.
And now the Sorcerer
Force. Doesn't go up.
on.
Two or three. Two to go off, right? Unless it's scale.
I mean, there's no scale. It's less than 37. What's your achievement?
Yeah, two, just two. No,
Just 2 successes.
Pass one. Alright.
Gives us 1 more and a failed resolve. So another 2 wounds for the Blooded.
fireball, this is on threes.
He casts Fireball on 3s.
4
4
minus 2.
successes. -2. Ooh, that was bad. Another resolve test. I don't think they can play a bigger role now. The Blooded.
No, I think the blooded are
It was
they're just kind of
decisive.
there now. They're not
Yeah.
really doing anything for us. You know, I honestly am not sure if the Hellbringer Drake has been, or the Sorcerer, has he been throwing his fireball on top
Yeah.
of this shooting as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was proved to be really effective because the shooting does almost 80% of the work, and then the Sorcerer comes and finishes off.
Okay, I was just curious, and I know some people were asking in the chat, so
It's a very good combination.
I hadn't been paying that close of attention to whether he was throwing the fireballs or not.
So the Wadroon player is done, and the Steelforge, it's their turn to act. Let's see what they will do. Seems to me they will move forward and try to block the Thunder Riders. Try to be into the forest so they don't have impact hits. No, it seems I'm wrong. Seems just like a minor repositioning. Setting up for next round maybe. Now the Dragon Slayers. That's the big question what they'll do. He pre-measures to charge, I think. This will be a very hurtful charge if they make it. He needs a 4 to make successful charge. And 2, and then a 5. And they make it. That reroll was very, very generous. They touch base and they close the gap. Let's see what they do. They're a pretty nasty unit.
Oh, no, no. The number is the cap.
So no reroll.
No, no. You don't have these.
I think it's 4 or 5 attack seats. I'm not sure.
I haven't fought against Dragon Slayers often
you're
enough to be able
lucky.
to know. They're not very popular where I'm at.
Really? I love them.
I don't know. It just hasn't been something that my local Dragon players have liked running.
Wow, I'm surprised,
But
to be
again,
honest.
I told you, my brother, he brought 4 Drakes to this tournament,
Yeah.
so he probably just didn't have space for things like Dragon Slayers.
Wow. That's 8 successful hits for the Dragon Slayers. That was very good. Saving on ones. There are 6 wounds and 6 resolve tests. I think it's another 4. Yep, that is correct. Resolve is 3, so another 4.
Kind of surprised only a single stand went down there.
Yeah, okay, he had a okay roll. Another 7 points for the Dragon player and another 2 points
Gotta do my mental math.
for the
real quick.
Wadroon player. Scott is having a difficult time with math.
Alright, so they're gonna chant famine, tier 3.
Wadroon player goes first. He chants famine.
Alright, so I've got regular cheat, I've got chieftain.
Ryan is counting his tons of dice. He's about to roll. 4s with flurry. Let's see, very impressive.
There we go. Got the scoreboards updated.
And now the reroll because of flurry. Almost 100% success rate. 9 hits, no shields. They don't have any, but
At this point, I think we all know the outcome of this match. We're just kind of playing to maximize points at this point. So Thunder Riders are attempting to clash back against
And then it's gonna be 6 trample.
Time for the trample to come through on those Thunder Riders.
And then resolve.
Well, there's a broken unit of Dragon Slayers.
yeah, that was some damage. Dragon Slayers will try to retaliate. Let's see if they are up for it. There are too few left. Cannot inspire because it's broken.
Is this
All
the,
of them go through.
Or
And
is it
2
something-
resolve tests.
So I think 2 more.
So that's 5. 5 wounds on Thunder Rider.
now where did that damage come from?
The Dragon Slayers. They were activated. Just a stand, did 5 wounds.
Try and charge the Drake. Alright, I need a.
And the Vladen will try to charge the Drake.
We ran!
Oh,
we
they
fall!
make it.
You can hear the chants of the Wadroon in the background there.
Okay. I
They
have
live up to their name.
6 attack.
They don't back down and then don't retreat.
What is that? That's it. Alright, 6.
Wow, 6 out of 6.
It's a pretty good clash there.
Four, I think that's the first time it's been wounded in the game. It was full health so far. I don't think it's anything to be afraid of.
Now, do we know, were those guys broken already?
No,
'Cause,
I don't think so, no.
Because they were only down to 1 stand. Did they rally previously? 'Cause otherwise they wouldn't have been inspired.
That was a very good point.
He's going to attack you back with 8 attacks. 8 attacks. Deal 3. 21.
I rallied.
Inspired.
Oh, I couldn't get your wounds back. I couldn't swung. I rallied the charge.
So slight change. The Drake will get its wounds back because these were broken.
Looks
and they
like
had to rally.
Mike is not concerned about that little bit of damage. He's like, you know what, just let it go through,
Yeah, I know.
because they're dead anyway. But they did catch the mistake, so.
You did, Scott. Thanks.
Well, I caught it, and then we pointed it out, and they fixed it.
Sorcerer. Deal 4.
So, Steelforge choose to sit on the point, get the extra. Victory points make sense. And we'll prepare for the next round.
Ouch, the discrepancy here is getting
5
pretty
minutes
aggressive.
left. T.O. says 5 minutes left. Let's make it 5.
Thunder Riders.
And the Thunder Riders play first.
So they're what was? That's all that matters. Huh? I mean, I'm just gonna kill them and that's it. And then you're
So they just don't roll it.
I'm like, what? 21 behind at
I
this point?
think it is logical.
Yeah, I
that
think
this
they've-
unit would be removed.
They're just talking through what would happen at this
Yeah.
point.
With 3 more points, you can spin and shoot them, and then you'll kill one for sure, and then you might kill the other one like over 2 turns, and that'll be it. Did you say?
Okay, they've agreed to just end the game there. So that was a good first match. There were definitely mistakes, but those happen. So our next stream for round 2 will be in about 34 minutes, 35 minutes.
35 minutes. Oh, plenty
So
of
we've
time.
got a little bit of a break here. And round 2 is where we'll probably see the 2 players that scored the most points fight each other.
Yeah.
And then after that, the rounds will start to really reflect, you know, who our top players are.
Yep, that is correct, Scott.
So thank you guys for watching this first round. We'll see you again in here in about a half hour.
Thank you.